name is Daniel Mello. I'll be introducing everybody here, the people who are be helping out with the workshop today. So a little bit about me. I'm part of YPA, Young Portuguese Americans, and most of the young Portuguese Americans in here belong to YPA. So they'll be leading the workshop. I am a high school teacher as well. I teach actually in Kirkland High School, so not too far away, about an hour north of you guys. So let me introduce the people around here, and their locations, because we're all scattered. We're all coming from different parts of California, so it's really cool. So we have Ariana. Where's Ariana Santos? She comes from San Lorenzo, so the Bay Area. We have Tony Silva. Where's Tony back here? Tony is from San Francisco. He'll be helping out as well. Vanessa over here comes from San Jose as well. And Angela Silveda up front here comes from Gilroy. So Anthony Machado comes from Hayward as well, so East Bay. We have Abel Dutra down south in Chino. And we have Jessica Lawrence, who will also be helping out from Tulare. She's back there. So before we get going, there was a little question we all had for you guys. Since you guys are Central Valley or closer to the southern part of the valley as opposed to many people here, how many of you guys are Dodger fans? Dodger fans. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, we know.
4. Okay. And Giants fans.
All right.
I don't know how well this is going to work out. So, okay. Anybody have any questions? You guys ready to rock and roll? All right, it'll be great. So, Angela, Vanessa will get it started. So, I'll get the lights.
So, for everyone, there are some seats up here. There are some seats over here, over there, for everybody that's in the back.
Try the other one, Daniel. Like this.
We are going to have the lights off for the purposes of the presentation. Not really looking so great with any lights on. So, welcome everybody. We are YPA. You all are YPA. Everyone included here. So we just want to say thank you for coming to our workshop today. We've already been introduced by our names and where we're coming from. So what the few of us who are going to present are going to add in addition to that is what we currently do and how do we get involved in the Portuguese community. It's going to be really brief. So again, my name is Vanessa Goulart. I am from San Jose. I am currently an academic counselor at, I've worked at high schools. I'm now at a district office. And I got involved in the Portuguese community through Luso.
I'm Angela Silveda. I'm from Gilroy. I currently work at Skype, and I got involved through the Portuguese community from the Portuguese program at San Jose State.
I'm Ariana Santos. I'm a junior in high school, so I'm not working anywhere yet. And I got involved with the Portuguese community through a local Portuguese church.
Oh, sorry. My name is Antonio Capote. I reside in Livermore. I work for the United States Treasury Department. I work for a bank regulatory agency out of San Francisco. And I got involved in the Portuguese community through the Philharmonicus, the marching bands.
My name is Anthony Machado. I'm currently a senior at Catchment High School. I don't have a job at the moment right now, so you'll bear with that. I got involved within the Portuguese community through Luso.
My name is Jason Amarant. I currently work for Google, and I got involved in the Portuguese community through the marching band as well as volunteering at the SES Hall in Santa Clara.
My name is Tony Silva. I got involved with my uncle who encouraged me to join this group, which is amazing. And I work also in technology in Marqueto in the Bay Area.
Hi, my name is Abel. I work for Luso American. I got involved with the Portuguese community within my Portuguese community in Chino.
So, thank you all for sharing. We want to know what everyone does here, but if we would never get through our presentation. So, we're going to just get started, and we're going to get to know you through some of the activities that we're going to do today. So, anyone want to let us know what does leadership mean to you?
4 pieces of candy.
Anybody, what does leadership mean to you? For maybe a Snickers?
Someone who takes charge and shows people how to do stuff.
Okay. Take charge, how to do stuff. Yeah.
Someone who can make hard decisions.
Someone who can make hard decisions. That's an awesome answer too. Yes.
Somebody who can get a group of people together and do anything.
Get a group of people there.
Get stuff done together as a group.
Yep. Are you ready? Okay. You gotta answer. You have to answer. Okay, so we actually had a survey that went out to probably some of you. Yeah, everybody had to do it. Your teacher forced it on you, I know. So in that survey, we had some really amazing answers. We couldn't put all of them on these slides today, but this is one that really stuck out to us. To me, leadership means the willingness to accept the differences of others, to embrace and tackle any challenges that may be faced, and being a great example and role model to others. What do you guys think? It's good. We were really impressed with that. That came from you all. So it's really articulate. It's really great. So on that note, we are going to have one of our YPA members talk a little bit about his leadership story. And just for time's sake, probably a little bit shorter than what we thought, because we're super behind.
I was expecting a podium, so I have to improvise.
You can use it.
Who's that?
You want to use it?
Oh, there it is. It's mobile.
And it's mobile.
It's mobile. All right, guys. How you guys all doing today? Great. I need your help. All right, breathe in. Breathe in. Everybody, come on. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Everybody. All right. Sometimes it takes one person, but most of the time it takes a group of people to bring a team together to accomplish goals, right? I know because I've been in your guys' seats before. It's like, what is this guy trying to do? Is this guy crazy? But sometimes we have to do stuff that are fun to get people involved. So I thank you guys all for participating and accomplishing my little goal right now. My hat's off to the YPA, to everybody who's here, for who helped put all this together and showing your interest not only in education, but in our Portuguese culture as well. It takes a team of leaders who put all this together this weekend to ensure our culture is shared. What we all need to do is continue to help, support, and take back to our respective communities and help lead the movement to preserve this all for years to come. I was born and raised in Chino, but my parents were immigrated to this country in the 1970s. Like many of other families, it was my parents that exposed me to my culture. Although they never obligated me to be active, as I have been, I've enjoyed learning, thank you. I've enjoyed learning through the years and continue to promote it to my peers, both locally and from a statewide. One of the things I appreciate the most was the initiative of the Portuguese immigrants many years ago. If we look at all the Portuguese halls in California alone, there are over 30 clubs that were built by these immigrants that date back to the 1980s, or the 1800s, excuse me. Today we are not as strong as we were back then, and that's maybe to the lack of immigration, but maybe more so because of the amount of opportunities that you all have being in this great country. We have such a rich culture that has just started to scratch the surface of it on a national level, and we need to do our part to make sure we continue to grow and show our country that the Portuguese people are the good. What do we not for only ourselves, but everyone around us? Excuse me. I'm a little ADD and I get distracted very easily. As a kid, my parents didn't take me to soccer practice or dance class. They took me to the Portuguese hall. I was able to do all of that there. I remember as a kid being so intrigued about my culture that I used to ask questions, sometimes too many questions, about who I was and where I came from. And because I needed to go to school and explain to my friends where I was doing every weekend. I was always doing something. And it was nothing American, it was all Portuguese stuff. That's how I found my passion and pride of being Portuguese and the importance of structure to keep things going on in a positive direction. These are just some of the few points why I eventually went to my education in business management and leadership from Cal Poly Pomona. In my grade school days, I played soccer and football, and that was where I learned the meaning of teamwork. Every team has all-stars, but most importantly, every team must have leaders in order to accomplish a goal. For those of you who are more individual and they want that personal gratification, that's fine. That's normal. Maybe you guys should be playing some golf or tennis. But I was never an all-star. But I did and continue to do what I can to do to help my team win. My only regret in college is that I didn't take advantage of the extracurricular activities that were offered. As an alumni of the Sigma Nu fraternity at Cal Poly Pomona, I never stepped up to be a leader of the fraternity because of my involvement with the Portuguese community. But what I did was sit back, let everybody else lead, and it served as a great learning experience for me. What I didn't get out of college, I got within the Portuguese community. I was an active member of the Luso American Fraternal Society, was involved in the youth, I was on the youth board, and served 7 years as a 20s 30s member, where eventually I became the president last year, 2013. At a local community level, I was part of the Chino DS Portuguese Club. I first served as a secretary in 2009. Is where I first got in. I saw how everything was done from the background work, as they say, from the festas to the business. And from there, I really learned the challenges that we had from a structural standpoint. From a business standpoint, it was also very challenging. Throughout my term, I didn't feel comfortable walking away and having the next group of people hit that reset button. I stayed another term using a business plan that I created and formulated a team. We had a successful year, but my vision was not easily accomplished as I thought it would be. After my second term, I was burnt out because the demand was way too high. Putting on festas, managing the business, and working full-time consumed much of not only my time, but my team's time as well. I had to walk away and hope that other leaders would step up, which they did, but unfortunately it went back to the same system that ultimately put us in financial danger. When I was approached last year to serve again on the Chino DS board, I did not decline, but encouraged our membership to implement a business plan that would create structure. I formulated a plan, presented to our members, and it was approved as I was elected president. Although there was a lot of learning experiences along the way, we had a very successful year and showed our community that if we were to have a plan in place, the success would be much more easy to accomplish. Today we are headed in the right direction, and the best part is I have more people in my generation that have taken the helm to lead us in that journey. Professionally, I worked for Enterprise Rent-A-Car for 11 years, where I started as a management trainee and worked my way up to a branch manager within 3 years. I'm very grateful for that experience with Enterprise because it gave me the opportunity to essentially run my own business and learn what it really takes to run a successful business. There was definitely a learning curve, but at the end of the day, it strengthened my ability to bring a team together, motivate, mentor them, and teach them about the business, life experiences, and most importantly, hard work and teamwork. After leaving Enterprise, I was able to build a resume that gave me good opportunities for a different career. Last December, I took my professional career to Luso American Life Insurance Society, where today I serve as a fraternal field advisor and sales agent. I know there are plenty of opportunities out there. Some good, some not. But what Luso gave me was the opportunity to help my Portuguese culture and language grow. I believe everything happens for a reason. And for this opportunity to have come my way, I felt that I needed to do what I can do to preserve the Portuguese culture and language. But I need your help. As I did earlier, I need all of you to be a part of to do your part to ensure that our culture stays strong here in the United States. Because one day, your children, our children, are going to be on those seats watching us and yourselves and everybody else doing what we're doing here today. I want to thank YPA, for asking me to speak today. I appreciate your time and attention. I want to let you guys know I'm always available for any questions or even just to chat about one of the best kept secrets in the U.S., our Portuguese culture. Hashtag get involved, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Abel, for sharing your leadership story. So we're going to continue on and talk about kind of who are some of those figures that you guys hear of and think of when you hear leadership. Where's my... Yeah.
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King. So that's a perfect segue into where we're going. Anybody else though want to mention any other leaders? No, nobody knows of any other leaders. Yes.
Einstein left the project, didn't he?
Einstein.
Einstein had a big thing in
Yep. You might want to share your candy with your Columbus. Columbus was a leader, in a sense.
I was like,
Controversial. So, yeah. So what we're going to do is touch upon that exact topic. Have any of you seen Selma, the movie Selma?
I wanted to so bad.
You wanted to? Do you know what it's about?
It's about Martin Luther King.
And what about Martin Luther King?
The march on Washington. The march on Washington.
The march to Capitol Hill from Selma. So we're just gonna see this. It's a really quick trailer, but it's pretty. Okay. It's a pretty dramatic film clip, and I think it kind of does encapsulate what a leader is. So we'll just take a couple minutes. After the ad.
Yeah, we're not affiliated with AT&T.
Why AT&T?
It's all free.
He's got some orders. Detroit, New York, Los Angeles, inciting large-scale arrests and sympathy marches. I'm very aware of that, Mr. Hoover. What I do know is nonviolent. What I need to know right now, what's Martin Luther King about to do next?
Mr. President, Dr. King is here.
Mr. President, in the South, there have been thousands of racially motivated murders. We need your help, Dr. King. This thing's just gonna have to wait. It cannot wait. You got one big issue, I got 101. Summer it is.
Here is the next great battle.
Selma's depleted, and they ready.
Dr. King!
I tell you, that white boy can hit.
We will not tolerate agitators attempting to orchestrate a disturbance in this state.
It is unacceptable that they use their power to keep us voiceless. Those that have gone before us say no more.
People actually say they're gonna kill our children. They're trying to get inside of your head.
What happens when a man stands up, says enough is enough? We build the path as we can, rock by rock. The sail is proudly burdened. It proudly is. We must march. We must stand up.
You march those people into rural Alabama, it's gotta be open season.
May I have a word? There's no word to be had. The people. The people. The people. The people.
There's 70 million people watching. These pictures are going around the world.
We must make a massive demonstration. White, black, and otherwise. Come to Selma.
I've heard about the attack of innocent people. I couldn't just stand by.
Looks like an army out there.
This revolution goes on and on. This revolution goes on and on.
I've seen the glory. 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 Hallelujah. What happens when a man stands up, says enough is enough?
So while that was a pretty epic journey that Dr. King chose to take, Ariana's going to talk a little bit about an experience in honor of Selma in the movie.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but the 50th anniversary of the march from Selma, Alabama to Capitol Hill was celebrated a couple weeks ago. And one of my close friends, Karen Bustamante, she's a senior at my high school. She's undocumented and she's an immigrant from Mexico. She was able to go with the U.S. Representative, Barbara Lee, all the way to Selma, Alabama, and she was able to meet with hundreds of congressmen and congresswomen. And they were speaking about different controversial subjects in Congress right now. And because she is undocumented and because she is an immigrant, she moved here when she was 4, she was able to speak to these congressmen and congresswomen and open their eyes about what it is like to be an immigrant. And so now these congressmen, because of her leadership and her initiative, are going to go back to Congress and have more empathy and more knowledge of the subjects that they talk about and make bills about.
So, thank you, Ariana, for sharing that. So we're going to continue and talk a little bit about leaders of the world. Can anybody name some of the leaders of the world that you've learned about, you know about? Anybody? Yes.
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. Anybody else? Do you want a candy?
Does it have to be
What was
present
that?
day? Does it have to be present day?
Does not have to be present day.
Gandhi.
Oh, great segue.
Two candies.
What did Gandhi do?
He led a movement in India.
For what?
India from Britain, right?
Yep, he did. And what was so special about that movement? What was so special about that movement?
Oh, it was non-violent.
Non-violent, right. So,
Oprah.
What do you guys know about Oprah?
She was in Selma.
She wasn't Selma. That's right.
Just north of here.
So, Oprah's actually one of the wealthiest. She's actually the only Black billionaire. She's also done a lot for women in the movement here within our generation, within our lifetime. She is a CEO. She is an actress. She is just. She is Oprah. So. What about this? Who's this? Do you guys consider Hitler to be a leader?
Yeah, he was.
A bad leader, but
A bad leader, but he was a leader, right? What did he do?
he ordered the murder of 6 million, or billion, yeah.
Genocide,
billion.
right? So, when we sent that survey out, there were a lot of people who were saying leaders take control, and they take a lot of control, and they make sure that everything is under control, and it's all good. This is an example of control that was to the extreme and not a good place, and led to the death of many people. So now we have, does anyone know who this is?
No.
No?
You can't
You don't
answer.
know who it is? So I see some people know. Who is it?
Gastão de Oliveira Salazar.
Okay. And what did he do?
Dictator of Portugal.
What did he
Dictator
do?
of Portugal. Yeah, what did he do?
Well, he was probably one of the best, should I say, financial persons in Portugal. But he should have left the government when it got to the point that there was no control, and he left the country in chaos.
Right. So do you want a candy? Giving candy to everybody who
Well, you know,
answers.
as I said, I mean, he was in the government. What is that?
It's a candy.
Oh, a
That's for
candy.
your
Okay, but
participation.
I'm not. That's fine. But I lived under the Salazar regime.
You lived in the South.
Yes, I am from San Miguel in the Azores.
Okay.
And I was in the army during the revolution,
Okay.
the Carnation Revolution.
Yeah.
And I am proud to say that the first time I voted in my life was here in the United States. Because I was 21 when I went to the army. You could not vote before 21. And the army had to vote in one party. We did not have a choice. They gave us slip, whatever you call it, and we had to vote on the names of the people. And I tore my vote in front of everybody. I was almost jailed because of that.
Yeah.
So, yes, he was a great statesman, but he got to a point he should have left.
So that's exactly the point that we're coming to. So Antonio Salazar was a dictator for 48 years, I believe. It started out really well. He was going to, he was basically changing the system. And he went from a prime minister to also being in control of money. So here we go. We talk again about control and what that means in the sense of how he was leading his country. It got also to a point where, actually I wanted to ask the youth, do any of you know about the revolution in Portugal? Do any of you know the date of the revolution in Portugal?
April 74.
April 25th. Okay. So, what was that? So again, we started out with some really good leadership, kind of turned sour. People were feeling really restless. They were exposed to different things that were happening in the world. They wanted to know what was out there, and basically, under this dictatorship, they were not allowed to gather. Gathering at a cafe, not even talking about anything to do with government, just sitting together, you could essentially be deported or sent away. Yeah.
Fun fact. Have you guys ever heard of Fudge before?
Yeah.
Fudge were the way of speaking out against the government, actually. That's the way that it was. When you look at an old school, like, restaurant now, if you ever go to Portugal and the opportunity to go to a fado house, you see a lot of old Portuguese men covering their hands because of the secret police. They were not allowed to talk out against the government, so a lot of the old men would cover their mouths and not talk. And then fado was used as a way to express yourself against the government. That was the only way that you're allowed to speak. It's because of the song.
Right. So this sense of control again led to no freedom of speech, no freedom of expression. You were basically controlled. So, have any of you seen the movie Capitães de Abril or April Captains? Have you guys seen it? Okay, so we're gonna watch a clip. It's 5 minutes long. Bear with us, but it's really kind of the revolution in a nutshell. And we're gonna kind of talk through a few things as you guys see it going on.
So in this movie, this guy represents Captain Maya. He kind of led everybody to get together and vote against the government.
This movement was happening in all different cities around Portugal. All of these captains from the army were talking to each other, planning to do this takeover.
So throughout the different cities where everyone was located, they kind of have different spots where they took over someone who was in charge there to help maintain a bigger movement.
So they literally were riding their tanks through the cobblestone streets, and when there was a stoplight, they would stop at the stoplight. This was a very peaceful kind of movement, despite kind of all the artillery.
So this part here is the main part of the movie at the end. They're all in the street facing the part of the army that's still on Salazar's side. And at this point, Salazar was sick, so someone else was kind of filling in the role, but it was a downfall. And you'll see Captain Maya coming with very peaceful, just surrendering. And you see him yelling at other people to shoot him. And the great part of this movie is nobody does. They stop and they all turn around and walk away. They're burning all the evidence. So Carnations, everywhere it's Carnation Revolution. And has anyone heard that song before that was playing in the background? Yes? No? So that, when you watch the movie, you'll see in the beginning, under Salazar, the radio stations were very, all the public news and music was pretty controlled, yeah. So this song wasn't necessarily a symbol of, wasn't written for the revolution, but it was the one that they planned to play at every radio station to let all the other areas know that they were going to do this and they were going to get together and take over the government. And it was a really good example of just a movement of thinking for themselves and the larger people. Because when you think you're in an army, just one man could kind of spread the ideas, and they just changed the whole state of the country.
So, how about we get some shout outs to some leaders in our community? Who are some leaders in your community? Yes.
Senor Borges.
Senor. Borges, right. Who else? Any other leaders within our community?
Tony Clark.
Hi.
Devin Newman.
Portuguese Council.
Who was, there was another one over here.
I see a hand.
The
Devin
local,
Newman.
Devin Nunes. And what does he do?
He's a congressman for our.
Okay.
and he's of Portuguese descent.
Yes. Anybody else? Okay. How about, oh, maybe can we actually keep the lights off? Sorry, it's just because it's hard to see. Do any of you see yourselves as leaders of our community? Yes, I heard a yes. Well, what are some of your leadership qualities?
He likes telling people what to do.
You guys, I promise are creating the best segues ever, because we're actually going to talk a little bit about that in just a moment. But before we get to it, again, through that survey that some of you took, this was one of the responses. Can I get somebody to just say it on? Go ahead.
I can see myself being a leader in the Portuguese community because we need to embrace our culture and share it with the world. The Portuguese community needs someone who can expand its culture to others and educate them on how to keep our culture alive.
Did any of you actually write this?
Yeah.
Did you really? Okay, so we had one other really good quote. If somebody else could read it for us, another volunteer? Yes.
Yes,
So
I
this
do.
was about whether or not you see yourselves as a leader in our community. Okay, go.
Yes, I do. Growing up, I was so involved in the Portuguese community, and I know that for our traditions to continue through the years, each generation needs to do its job to help our community. They need leaders that are willing to not only do the work and are driven by the culture, and to have the understanding behind all the things we do.
So, again, this one, did one of you write this one? No. Well, anyways, it was really good. We're really impressed by the responses that we got and how some of you really do see yourselves as leaders. Today is a good opportunity to even do one of those. And we're going to talk a little bit about that segue on a campaign.
Beyonce?
That is Beyonce.
Not
You said you're called bossy, right? Which is actually a really great thing. Could you please raise your hands, anybody, if you've been called bossy?
Yeah.
Now, keep your hands up if you've been called bossy and you're a girl. You can put your hands down if you're a boy. Okay, so that's what hashtag Ban Bossy is all about. You can put your hands down. So hashtag Ban Bossy is a campaign that's trying to ban the term bossy, which is mainly used towards women and is very condescending when women are trying to be leaders in our community.
Pushy, stubborn, pushy, stubborn, bossy, bossy.
When I was growing up, I was called bossy.
I think the word bossy is just a swasher.
Being labeled something matters. By middle school,
Girls are less interested in leadership than boys. And that's because they worry about being called bossy.
We need to tell them it's okay to be ambitious.
we need to help them lean in.
Words matter. Let's just ban the word bossy.
And encourage girls to lead.
To be strong and be ambitious.
Listen to your own voice. There are no limits. Dare to be you. You can change the world. Let's ban bossy. Be brave. Be you. Ban bossy.
Join us to ban bossy.
I'm not bossy. I'm the boss.
We all know Beyonce's the boss.
Yeah, so the whole reason why we incorporated the hashtag Ban Bossy campaign in our presentation was because we do want everybody in our community to be able to be leaders and step up to the plate, but it's very hard when women are being treated differently than men when we're trying to be leaders. So just keep that in mind whenever you're trying to take opportunities to improve our community.
So, now we're gonna get moving. So what we need you all to do is we're gonna do an activity. Well, we're gonna do several activities. Yeah, we can. You guys know it?
No, I just read it off the
Oh, I was hoping you don't know the Marshmallow Challenge before. Yeah.
I feel like I know what it is. Is it like how many marshmallows you can stuff in your mouth?
That'd be fun. So, there it is. Yeah. Haven't done it? Okay. So, basically, we're going to get into groups wherever there is a marshmallow and some spaghetti sticks on your table. Okay?
There's 4 tables, so one in each corner.
If
So
that
some
will move
people can go
Yeah.
here.
Wait, don't move. Let me give you instructions first. Okay. You guys, in 10 minutes, so, okay, you're gonna have 10 minutes, and we encourage everyone in this room to participate. So don't feel like this is an activity just for these people in front. We want everybody in the room to participate. In 10 minutes, you have to build the tallest freestanding structure out of 20 sticks of spaghetti, 1 yard of tape, 1 yard of string, and 1 marshmallow. Your challenge is that marshmallow needs to be on the top.
How's your Google?
I've done this. I did it.
Nope, don't do Google. You're good?
No phones, change your phone.
Wait. What was your question?
Does the string count as part of our challenge?
Yeah.
You have to use everything.
Is it against the rules to have the tower touching against the ceiling?
I thought of that.
You might not want to give people your.
I like that.
It has to be freestanding. It has to be freestanding.
Yeah.
It has to be freestanding, so you can't have it hanging. Okay. Okay. You can use the tape that's on the tables, the spaghetti, and the string. We only have 1 pair of scissors as our challenge. So we're gonna give you guys 10 minutes. I'm gonna get you guys get into groups, kind of spread yourselves out, and then we'll start.
There's a table over
Hold on, don't start yet, don't start. It's time. Wait a minute, why do we have an empty table back
Alright, let's mix it up.
Okay, ready? Ready?
Want to get in the mix? Yeah? Want to get in the mix?
10 minutes. 5.
Well, they have like.
You guys need seats?
5.
Go.
4. 3. 2. 1. Go.
Just one big giant solid piece of tape.
Yeah, well, you can go from table to table.
Yeah.
Yes, you can use the tape, the string, the spaghetti, and the
probably have to take two things together to bring it,
Yeah, we can get like a vacuum towel. Use the string to take the bottom pieces together so they don't split out.
You've done this before.
I have not. I am not an engineer.
But she works for AutoCAD, so. Exactly. We took three, tape, and then tape the three legs at the top, and then have one middle one going up.
Use the string to tie it.
About this much tape, I think. Like,
Yeah. You can, but there's only one pair of scissors.
okay, like fingertip length tape is good for
Well, depends if you have to use the whole marshmallow.
Well, technically, it all depends on the definition of
So
how
are we
it's
going
said,
like this?
right? They said there's, you don't have
Just
to use
said
all.
a
It says the marshmallow
marshmallow.
has to be on the top, right? So the only thing is you have to make it stand in the marshmallow on top. I still think the teepee thing. I still think the teepee thing is the most logical.
They're getting
TP?
that direction.
I've done the TP.
Are you gonna go in an angle? You wanna go in an angle?
Look, if we do a little bit of math, and you put 3 of these together, we got to use all 20 of them, right? No.
She said you have to use all 20, you have to use everything.
They said not everything. Oh, really?
Yeah, they said you have to use everything.
Use everything.
Are we going in the right direction?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go.
I think what I think we need is for everyone to build a layer and then one person will take them. We only have 10 minutes, right?
7. Don't break all of them though.
No. Well, you guys tell me what to do and I'll take. Because I'm faster at building things.
Okay, here's the idea. If we start, if you want support
Just
from an
for the base.
engineering standpoint, and you want height,
Yes, like that.
we go like this.
Do the other one.
And then we
But
end up.
should the bottom one be the cube?
Yeah, you have to have something to
So
support.
I need one more layer to put in here.
Before they were even.
Right?
Hey, I clean and cook, you guys build stuff.
So what's the goal? Add the marshmallow on
So one more layer?
So that's it.
Yeah, I know what has to be done.
Now it's gotta be the top.
It's gotta be the tall. Oh, it's gotta be the tall.
Yeah. That's why.
Well, you can put this attached to the top.
Well, she got the base.
I'm making the
She's
base.
making the base, and then we can kind of just like.
Go up to the base. We need one. We need a.
Yeah, I didn't figure out the whole string thing.
The whole thing. I think. String we have to tie. Are there
We need one up here.
No, we want to eat the marshmallow.
I think you'll be safe. Does this hold?
That's why stronger base is the height.
I have an idea for keeping it up. I mean, we're still allowed to use the seal. As long as it's we can probably take a super group. Maybe not adults right
Yeah.
We are at 5 minutes
All right. That's what I did. I didn't make a phone call. The way to do it. It's doing it right way.
Hey, no cheating, turn around.
Get out of here.
And he called you bug.
No, no, wait a minute. Okay, he's got it. You need 3. Pieces are small. It's better if they're small.
She's a little.
What do you need help with?
I need the rest of this, and then we
There's
can
2
go up.
little ones right there.
You want these two? Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I really wish we could chunk that.
Nobody knows. Hey,
Can we get?
you know
because
what
then
you do?
can-
I have
then
a
you
really
put
good
more
tip for
pieces
this.
there. That goes into it, and then you have.
No,
a solid.
okay. Didn't your ball ever give
Okay,
you
on the
the
cow
sweet
one.
bread with an egg in it for Easter?
Yes.
Okay, and you cut the egg out. Nobody knows you touched it, right? You use the center of the marshmallow on the bottom, and nobody knows you took it because you turned it upside down, just like sweet bread with an egg.
Oh, I like that. I like that devious thinking.
We used to do it to everyone. We take a spoon and we
You're like
cut
that.
out the middle and we
You're
make
like,
it
you're
like
like, you're like him, where he's like, "Can we go as far up?" You know, that was actually the question is
Yeah.
attaching that to that. All right, here. Let's start.
Somebody wants to. Here.
No, I think. Are you Swing?
Anthony.
Yeah. Anthony.
It has to be on the very, very top. So if you stick it in now, that's the end of your.
Taking too long to put one on. We'll never make it 4 minutes. What's left?
What we need is 2 sets of hands that are equally.
Someone with a, someone who has a better back than
30
me.
seconds left.
How many?
Alright, somebody take the top.
Tape 2 minutes.
Take the top. Just tape. Just get in there and tape and don't be afraid. Jump in.
Get involved.
Here, somebody hold this. We need more hands.
This one's
more hands.
Got it.
Okay.
What do we do?
Put the marshmallow on the top.
Yeah.
Just have faith.
I like the movie. I like your style.
Here, take it all together, guys. Rest up. Marshmallow. Okay.
Yeah, use them. Oh, the
Hold on, being the double. Until the base is ready, you can't put the top on, otherwise you'll kill it.
Where's the next one?
Wait a minute.
Where was the string supposed to go?
Well, just whoever did it before is being really patient.
I think these are really okay, where's the string going?
He's doing the right thing. Hold on.
No, we should do the
Well, when you miss the thing, it's for 5 seconds.
Yeah, hold it close to the finger. Let it go. Just let it go. See what happens.
Hey,
don't touch it. Don't touch the table. There you go.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
Don't knock it over.
Don't touch the table. Don't touch the table.
Have a little faith. Have faith. Have a little faith. No, that doesn't.
Don't touch anything.
That's a pretty good idea.
Let's take a look around the room. Hold on. So we're gonna start over here. You guys almost had it though. You almost had it. 2 seconds. So we got no marshmallow over here. Over here.
Taken out.
Taken out, but we still got marshmallow on top, alright? Over here. Whoa. Pretty snazzy. It's looking good. What I am gonna say is the marshmallow is not on top. The string is on top. So with that, I think we have our winners here. And what you what you get is
more candy.
Round up. More candy. So, but what did you guys notice about this activity when you were doing it?
Teamwork. Teamwork.
Working together. What else?
Listening to one another.
Yeah, I gotta hear all the opinions first before you like execute something.
Okay, brainstorm.
Actually, from a
Brainstorm.
leadership standpoint, I mean, that's one of the best secrets about leadership, and it's the toughest that people don't think about, is actually listening first.
Sure.
And thinking first.
Right.
And so from this, when the girls actually came up, let's get a nice solid base, it's just like anything else. I mean, you gotta form the foundation first and go up from there.
Yeah.
And so then that's where the Eiffel Tower.
They were the boss.
In a good way, right? I thought we were banning bossing, but okay. So, right, and you guys had to stay committed to this, which is a character and a character trait of a leader. You had to keep pushing through. You had to try something. You had to redo it again if it didn't work. These are all things that leaders have to do on a daily basis, and you all share those qualities here together, so know that you have it in you, and you just have to kind of bring that out, okay? So we're going to continue. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Good job in the back. Just stay where you're at. It's about 1 minute.
I like this grade.
Okay, you guys, we want to get you out on time, so let's focus up.
Okay, so one of the best times to be a leader is when you're in college. I know plenty of us have already been to college and graduated, but there's the majority of us that haven't gone to college. So could you please raise your hand if you're thinking about going to college? Have you guys been accepted anywhere?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah? Cool. Me personally,
You will.
I'm a junior, so I haven't applied yet, but I want to know from you guys, did you guys want to go away from home for college?
Yeah.
And how was that with your parents?
They're really okay with it.
Okay, well, my parents don't. I want to go to the East Coast to Washington, D.C., so I can pursue a career that I'm really into. But my parents do not want me to go that far away from home. So it really required a bunch of talking, a bunch of conversations, and this idea about flying programs. So there's this thing called a flying program where you can apply and they will give you free trips to your college and you can come with your parents. So maybe that would persuade them to letting you go far away, knowing that where you're at and how nice it is there. So this is just an encouragement for you guys to go to college where you will be leaders. You'll have to finance yourself, plan your schedule, manage your time, and it's just a time to really show your leadership skills and kind of succeed. So
I will say one thing about college that I didn't take advantage of that I really regret, and that was, have you guys heard of study abroad?
Yeah.
Do it. I didn't do it. You basically, that is like the best opportunity. You are paying tuition for, you're just paying your normal tuition of what you're gonna pay to go to college that semester, and you go somewhere else and you live in a different country. You can go to Portugal, you can go to Spain, you can go to Costa Rica, you can go anywhere. So do it. Yes.
I just wanted to share a personal story. When I was applying for colleges, my college counselor told me that I didn't have the GPA to go anywhere special, so just apply to the local state school. And I refused to believe that, and I applied to lots of different schools, and I got in, and I went away. So don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it and that you can't go away, because you can go wherever you want.
Really quick about scholarships. So I know one of the reasons of going away to school is financially, and it's getting really expensive. I don't think it's going to get cheaper anytime soon. So you really need to take advantage of scholarships. They're everywhere. There's so many. You should never think that you're never going to get accepted, because some organizations have all this money and they go each year without giving it away because nobody applies. So even if you see a requirement you don't think you would qualify for, just do it. It's not going to hurt. Take a little time. These are some that have them. Luso, which is education here, San Jose State, UC Berkeley, Zinch, and then just a bunch of others. They're everywhere. The information is everywhere.
Can I just say one thing to that? You're exactly right, because we just went over scholarships, and the biggest problem.
Through Luso, right? You're talking?
Yeah, through the Luso
I don't
American
know if
Education
everybody knows.
Foundation. Yeah, and the biggest problem is that you got a lot of students just don't apply for them, and they're there. So take advantage of it, and it's not just those on that screen. You know, there are grants that are available. There are so many organizations that are giving away money that people don't take advantage of. And that's actually one of your first opportunities as students to exercise your leadership skills, not only with your parents. I have a son that's 20 and a daughter that's 18, so I have a sophomore in college and a freshman in college. And that's actually one of the first things that allowed, it's when I realized that they were adults, you know? They made that decision on one, where they wanted to go and justified that decision. And two, did some of the homework before that, like realizing that college isn't cheap, and that's a big check that I've got to write every month for both of them. And by showing me that they went out and tried to get these scholarships, kind of gave a little credibility from a parent standpoint. So take advantage of that. It's there for you. There's thousands of them.
Thank you for sharing. So we are going to skip over a few things. All of you, most of you have phones with you right now? Everyone
Go
take
like
out
it's on
their
Facebook right now. This is your one time you use class.
So we would like you guys, we're going to post some of these resources that we have from our workshop today. This is the last thing we do before we have our last leadership story of the day, and you guys can go to lunch. So, but we want you guys to join our Facebook page. We're going to put a bunch of resources on there that we've been talking about today, some other things.
Everybody find it?
I can. If you need help, I can.
I found it.
You want to write it down for later?
It's young, Portuguese, American.
All I have to type in was white space.
No spaces, yeah, or a white paper.
We'll also give it to your teacher so he can have you guys add it.
He won't.
That's it.
He will. He'll send a reminder.
Oh yeah, like
I
I
text
seven.
him.
No, I texted not this one.
Really quickly about resumes.
Quickly, I had a great speech, but I'll make it short. So we're talking about applications, and most of the applications or scholarships will require a resume. Some of you may have it, some of you may not. Well, when I was your age, I had no idea what a resume was. My first resume that I wrote was, I was 23 or 24 years old. And just a few recommendations when you're doing it is, there's a million websites out there teaching you tips and tricks and formats and so forth, but I think there's 3 things or words that you need to include into your resume that you don't really find anywhere. And we've mentioned here, for example, communication. Make sure you communicate clearly what you want, who you are, where you want to be, and then teamwork. It's easy to write a resume when you have
a lot of leadership experience, managerial experience, years in finance or something like that. But coming out of college, you may not have that. So just, we all did teamwork. That's another key word is, what did you do in school? What did you do in your family? Make sure you put teamwork within whatever you write, within your personal stories. And the last one is commitment, and that's two ways to see it. You may have a long-term sport or a long-term club that you belong to, and you should definitely put that in there. I committed to this for a period of years. I accomplished this, or that. And then a second version is if you don't have this long-term, in my case, I was in sports, but if you don't have that, then put the short-term ones. I read these amount of books. I helped my family do this or volunteered for that. Even just being part of this right here, what we're doing here, the YPA, is an event that you can put on a resume. I participated in this. I built, marshmallow, whatever structures, and go from there. Okay, so that's just an idea.
Just a little further on that is the whole reason why the YPA is there. Is here is to integrate and continue these cultural and traditions. You guys get a lot of work experience by getting involved in the local Portuguese organizations, because that, as part of a committee board or whatever it is, most kids your age don't have that because they don't have that secret life that you guys all have if you have this heritage behind you. So take advantage of that. That's work experience that you don't get paid for, unfortunately, but it's valuable experience that employers like me look at.
Now we're gonna have Anthony talk about his leadership story.
All right. Welcome. I'm the last speaker, so I'm gonna make sure I'll make this a little bit quick and a little bit snappy. Huge shout out to YPA. They hit me up and they asked me to give a little speech to you guys, and I appreciate it a lot. Thank you guys. How many of you guys in here are actually involved within, not your Portuguese community, but involved in your high school? Like involved with like ASB, all that stuff. Okay. How many of you guys play sports? How do you guys play band? All that stuff. Okay. Regards to that, not one person. But within those activities, what does that require a lot of? Leadership, teamwork, all that stuff. What you guys did today, involving with the marshmallows, with the stakes, that all involves leadership. Because within that spot, it's always leadership. With ASB and all that stuff, going for your class president or anything like that, you gotta stand up to become the leader that you are. You gotta lead the way for your class to become what you are. Coming from my standpoint, last year I was Luso American State Youth President. I was involved throughout the whole entire California, Idaho, and going back east to involve all the youth within Luso to become involved in our Portuguese community. And not only does that involve the youth of the Portuguese community, but also getting involved within my own high school, my own community of Hayward, where I'm from. The main thing is with the leadership skills, it's you have to see how you can stand up to be the leader that you're going to be. How can you create that footstep? Everybody knows about a carbon footprint. We all have a carbon footprint in this world. I think that's this, a leadership footprint. How far can you sink your footprint into this world? How far will you stand up to become the person you're going to be? What's going to make yourself stand out to become that leader? Because I know that all you guys want to be leaders one of these days. I would like to be a leader myself. But with that, you need teamwork, help. YPA, they gave me help. They reached out to me and they gave me help. Jason's a great guy. But all you guys heard his keynote, right? He did an amazing job. Yeah. Calling for my parents, I'm first generation Portuguese. My two parents, I love them to death. And the one thing for me is that I have no family. My parents immigrated here with no family, and I have nobody here. I'm an only child here. I have no siblings. I have no cousins, no nothing. But the one thing for me is that with the Portuguese community, it taught me to have a family within myself. The Portuguese community is my family. And that's how I grow my leadership, because of my family. You guys gotta keep yourselves involved with the community. Without the community, it's nothing. You're all standing alone by yourself. Be involved. Hashtag, what Label said, hashtag getting involved. That's the thing. Without getting involved, it's no fun. You don't have any sports. You don't have anything to do with the British community. And then without community, it's no fun. I mean, for example, last year, this is something I said. I don't know if let's see if you guys can understand Portuguese. Juntos são mais fortes. What does that mean?
Together we're stronger.
Mr. Borges teaching you? Yes, juntos somos fortes. Together we are stronger. But that's what I meant. That last year, that was my word. That was my phrase to everybody. Juntos somos fortes. Together we are stronger. We have to unite together. Sadly, our Portuguese culture is dying, day by day, unfortunately. But with the help of the 2030s, with Sr. Borges, with the YPA, with everything, we can still have our say. We can still bring up the Portuguese community. That's the thing. We can still keep the festas, the Holy Ghost, the bands, the Ranchpocões, the Luso, anything like that. If you have the leadership, if you have Juntos Somos Fortes, look at all around you guys. You guys were, I heard a little note that you guys were here for because your teacher demanded you to. Don't leave it like that. Do it for yourselves. Do it for something that you want to do. For love, amor, the love that you have for this culture. For my example, I love Luso a lot. This is one thing that I always go off of. You guys have a love for something else, whether it be soccer, football, cheerleading, anything like that. Anything outside of the community, racing, what else? Going to the movies, anything like that. Being with your friends, have that leadership, have that amor. Because that shows that you're a leadership, that you're strong, individual, courageous, that you have a vision for the future. A vision for the future will always stand up for something. Like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He had a vision. You guys all remember his speech. I have a dream. Have that dream within your heads. Because with that dream, nothing is impossible. You can always do whatever you guys want to do. And I think that's it. Thank you guys.
Do you guys have any questions?
That was amazing. Are there any questions you guys have?
Any questions for any of us?
What are your questions? How about that? What are your questions?
Don't
for us?
anything.
Anything. Anything.
Well, you'll see
You
us
guys
around.
got something? You guys got something? No.
There's going to be a little YPA mini summit later today.
You guys should
Yes.
come by.
How can we get involved in YPA?
Great
Ooh.
question.
Every YPA.
Chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate. It's chocolate.
Anyone want to take that on?
I think it starts with just connecting with us, and we'll take it from there. Like, reach out. We shared the Facebook page. If you guys ever have any questions, like, look to us. We'll be your friend. We'll be your connection, your conduit to the community. Send us a message, and one of us will pick that up, and we'll figure out how to get you best involved. Because we're definitely looking to expand and gain more movement and participation in all the different parts of the state. So.
Okay,
Yeah, awesome.
I think
Thank
more
you.
than anything, we do have a really strong presence in the Bay Area. We're starting to move down over here too. We have
To the
Daniel.
valley, yes.
Yeah, Daniel's a really big participant. So I think also connecting with the community here, and then we'll connect all together. So
We are
you can
one.
really be a leader in that.
There's also a YPA mini summit that's going to happen later today. So if you guys have more questions and want to get more involved, come to that for sure.
It'll be
Come by, let's
meet
chat.
here, same room at 1:45, just very
After lunch.
non-structural. We're not gonna be presenting and taking, just wanna walk
Yeah.
around, talk to us. Very chill, very relaxed.
Yeah, come hang out.
No marshmallows.
So after pretty soon we're gonna go to lunch right now. But if you guys could please fill out the evaluation form so we should make ourselves better.
We also have a sample, we brought sample resumes and an example of scholarships. You guys want to
Tony,
grab
how you doing?
one by the door.
Yeah, there you go.
Get it.
He's helping us.